To begin this class, please lie down in Shavasana with your head in this direction. And we'll just take some time now to settle the body. So lying flat on the back with the legs about hip width apart, making sure that they're relaxed and the feet are lolling to the sides. Have the arms a little bit away from the body with the palms facing up. Ensuring there's balance between the left and right side of the body. And making sure the head and neck are in alignment. You might like to tuck your chin in just a little to make sure. Take a long, deep inhalation now. And as you exhale, release all the events of the day. And take another long, deep yogic breath in now. And as you exhale, this time release all of the interactions and conversations that you've had today, whether they've been in person, in a digital space, on the phone. Any interactions now, just let them all go. And take another long, deep inhalation now. And this time, when you exhale, release any thoughts or feelings of obligation of anything you need to do after the class, and allow yourself to be right here, right now, in this present moment. Give yourself the gift of being right here. There's nothing else that you need to do right now. And now, very gently, scan the awareness through the body, beginning with the soles of the feet. And as you do this, just observe how you're feeling in each part of your body. Take notice of any irritation, any pain. And remember that throughout the class, that if a posture is not right for you, then to do a different one, do a modification, or even just lie in Shavasana and visualize the practice. And bringing the awareness now up through the legs and into the buttocks, up through the fingers and the hands and the wrists, and up through the arms. And now bring the awareness up through the torso and up through the back, paying careful attention to the spine. Bring the awareness up vertebrae by vertebrae, up into the neck, into the back of the head, and now around to the face, letting all tension go. Bring the awareness now to the eyebrow center. And at this point, visualize a steady candle flame. And together now, we'll chant Om 3 times and Om Shanti. And I'll chant the Shanti mantra to pay respect to the traditions that support and guide us, and respect between each other, so that we can all learn together without ill will. Breathing in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahe, Tejasvinat Vadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Focusing on the breath, we'll begin the practice tonight, or we'll begin the practice for this class with cycling. So, still lying in Shavasana, move the hands underneath the buttocks. So, placing the palms on the floor underneath the buttocks. And if you have any lower back problems with this practice, please bend the opposite leg. So putting the opposite foot flat on the floor in front of the buttocks. So we're going to begin with the right leg. So for this practice, bend the right knee to the chest and then raise the leg so that the foot is parallel with the ceiling. And then gently bring the leg towards the floor, about 10 centimeters above the floor, and then bend the knee again to the chest. So it's a circular movement. So this is one round. Complete 5 rounds in each direction. Inhaling as you bring the knee to the chest and lifting the foot up, and then exhaling as you lower the foot to the floor. And after you finish 5 rounds in each direction, gently lower the right leg to the floor and wait a few moments to observe the difference between right and left, and then complete the practice with the left leg. When you've completed both legs, if you're feeling up to it, if you want to take it to the next level, complete 5 rounds with both legs together. And if 5 rounds is too many, complete just as however many rounds that you feel is right for you. And remember to complete the same number of rounds in each direction. And when you've completed Lion Shavasana, and observe the effects of the practice. The next practice is one we haven't done before. So for this, lie on your right side with your right arm out at shoulder height and bring the left hand over to meet the right hand, so on top. So you're lying on top of your right side and your left hand is touching the palm, so your palms are together on the right side. Inhale, and without rolling the body over, move the left arm over to the left side so that the back of the hand is on the floor. And just observe the opening of the chest as you do this. Hold for a moment, exhale, bring the left hand back so that its palm touches the right hand on the right side. Complete 5 rounds in this way, observing and visualizing the lung as you're doing this. And after your 5th round in your own time, trying to coordinate the breath with the movement. After your final round, lie on the back for a few moments and then move on to the left side and complete the same practice there. Always observing the effects of the practice. And when you're finished, lie in Shavasana. And we'll move now to a spinal twist. So bring the soles of the feet in front of the buttocks and clasp the hands behind the head if that's comfortable for you, as long as the elbows can touch the floor comfortably. If not, just keep the arms out straight at shoulder height. Exhale and bring the knees to the right side of the body and turn the head to the left side. And allow the body to sink into the position. And then when it's right for you, inhale, bring the knees back to center and the head back to center. Exhale and bring the knees to the left and turn the head to the right. Again, just allowing the body to ease into the asana. And when you've completed the practice, 5 rounds in total, lie in Shavasana. And now, when you've completed the practice, we'll move into Majari Asana, the cat posture. So very gently and mindfully come onto your hands and knees, ensuring that the hands are directly below the shoulders and the knees are directly below the hips and the spine is straight and the head is in a neutral position. Inhale and bring the head up towards the ceiling, stretching through the arms and arching the abdomen down towards the floor. Hold for a few moments. Exhale, bring the head in between the arms, arching the back up. This is 1 round. Complete 5 rounds in total. Aiming for very smooth, fluid movements and coordinating the breath with the movement. Aiming for that body, breath, mind connection. Once you've completed your 5 rounds, we're going to do a new practice now. So come up onto your knees, if that's right for you, and just watch. I'll demonstrate it first. It's called the half camel pose. Now, if your knees are tender, you might like to put a cushion underneath your knees, if that's hard for you to sort of stand up on your knees like that. Bringing the toes, so tuck the toes under so that the heels are up. I'll actually move on this side first. So we'll begin with the right side. The first thing to do is bring the right arm up, back, and see if you can touch the heel on the right side. And with the left arm, bring the arm about just above shoulder height. So not too high, but just above shoulder height, and gaze up gently. And then the next thing is bring your arm back around, and then you do the same with the left side. So left side, making sure the heels are high up, bringing the arm up, back and around, and then bringing the head just above shoulder height, gazing up. So explore the position and complete 5 rounds. So just seeing how you're going with that, how your balance is. The next stage of that practice is to actually do with both arms, but it's quite intense. So have a go if that's what you want to do, and if it's easy for you. And when you do that with both, you can actually tilt the head a bit further back as well. And then the even next level, which I would not even attempt, but the next level is to actually have your feet flat on the floor, so your heels are just sort of natural, and then do it that way. But that's quite intense. And when you've explored the practice enough, come down into Shashankasana, the child posture. And in this position, sink into the floor. So bringing the arms out in front of the body, forehead on the floor, and the buttocks back towards the heels. And just relax in this posture and just observe just the movement of energy around the body from the practices that we've done so far. And when it's right for you, come up into the base position, Parambik Sthiti. So bringing the legs out in front of the body, bringing the arms behind the body with the fingers pointing away from the buttocks. Sure the head and neck are in alignment and the spine is straight. Closing the eyes for a few moments. And again, just allowing the bodies to rest in the position. And our next practice will be Asana, the butterfly posture. So bring the soles of the feet in front of the buttocks and then bring the soles of the feet together, clasping the hands around the feet, and allow the knees to move towards the floor, opening up the hips. Inhale, bring the knees up towards the arms. Exhale, allow the knees to fall towards the floor. Complete 10 rounds in this way. Again, aiming for smooth and fluid movements, synchronizing the breath with the movement, and placing the awareness in the opening of the hip. And then also when in your own time, when you've completed your 10 rounds, come out of the position, make sure that you bring the knees together and then you will move the legs along the floor. And come back to the base position for a few moments again, observing the effects of the practice. Our next practice will be shoulder rotation. So bring the right hand to the right shoulder, left hand to the left shoulder, bringing the elbows together in front of the body. Inhale, bringing the elbows up, back, exhaling as you bring the elbows down behind the body. And then elbows together in front of the body again. This is 1 round. Complete 5 rounds in each direction. Really focusing on the loosening of tension in the muscles in the tops of the shoulders. Big circular movements. And come back to the base position when you've completed the practice. And we'll move now to a standing position. So very gently and mindfully roll up to standing. And come to a standing Shavasana. So making sure that you're evenly balanced, your weight's evenly balanced on the left and the right leg. And you feel your spine straight, your head and neck are straight along with your spine. Arms hang loosely by the sides of the body. And just feel the ground beneath your feet, feeling steady and comfortable. And our next practice will be Bandha Hasta Uttanasana. So for this practice, cross the wrists in front of the body. Then inhale, and as you're inhaling, bring the crossed wrists up above the head, stretching up through the torso. Exhale now, bringing the uncrossed wrists, arms out to shoulder height, palms facing up, and really stretching out, making sure that the arms are at shoulder height. Sorry, I've got a bookcase in my way. Stretching out through the fingers and the chest. Inhale, bringing the arms up above the head again, crossing the wrists. Exhale, and bringing the wrist down in front of the body again. It's a very meditative, slow movement. So complete another 4 rounds in this way. Really opening the chest and visualizing the lungs as you are opening the chest and breathing and expanding the lungs. And when you've completed the practice, come back to a standing Shavasana and observe. Observe the effects. Our next practice is Kati Chakrasana, which is a spinal twist. So for this practice, bring the right hand to the left shoulder and wrap the left arm behind the waist and gaze over the left shoulder. And feel the stretch in the spine, but also up the side of the neck. Exhale and bring the arms out at shoulder height. And then bring the left hand to the right shoulder, wrapping the right arm behind the waist and gazing over the right shoulder. Again, just feeling that stretch in the neck and in the spine. Exhale. And again, so this is 1 round. Complete another 4 rounds in this way. Come back to standing Shavasana. Again, observing. We'll move now to Tadasana, which is the swaying palm tree pose. So with the legs maybe a little bit bigger, larger than hip width apart. So a little bit wider than hip width apart. It's showing that you're standing up straight and the shoulders are down and back but relaxed. Clasp the hands together in this way and then put the palms towards the floor, straighten the arms. Inhale, bring the straight arms with the palms or the hands clasped together above the head, stretching up through the torso. And then exhale and then move the straight arms, lean over to the right, and you can press the left foot into the floor to increase the stretch just a little. Inhale back to center. Let go of the toe to the floor, stretching up in the middle. Exhale, and then with the right foot, dig the right foot into the floor, and then lean over to the left, feeling that stretch up the right side of the body. And inhale back to center, stretching up in the middle. Complete another 4 rounds in this way. aiming to try and keep the body straight as though you're between two pieces of glass. Just imagine that, and you're upright, your arms are straight, stretching each side of the body. And when you've completed, come back to a standing shavasana, closing the eyes, and allow the body to relax. And our final asana now will be a balancing posture. So in this class, we'll do Pramanasana, which is the one-legged prayer posture. So for this one, find a point on the wall that isn't moving, so it helps to fix your gaze and keep you steady. And we'll begin with the right foot. So balancing on the left leg, place the sole of the right foot on the inside of the left leg. So you could do that if you're new to this practice, just on the ankle, so keeping the toes of the right foot on the floor. If you're a bit more used to this practice, you could put it onto the inside of the shin, or even up on the thigh if you are more practiced. Avoid putting it on the inside of the knee. Once you're steady in whatever position suits you, bring the palms together in front of the body in prayer position. And when you feel steady, if you want to go a bit further with this, then once you're steady in that position, bring the palms above the head, stretching up through the torso while you're balancing, and hold for your own duration. Complete 3 rounds on each side of the body. And after you've completed 3 rounds on each side, sit down in a comfortable sitting position to prepare for pranayama, some breathing practices. And again, make sure you can sit for a few moments so you're comfortable. Ensure again the spine is straight and that the head and neck are aligned with the spine. The shoulders are relaxed and open. And the hands are on the knees in a mudra of your choice. And with the eyes closed, bring your awareness to the natural breath at the nostrils. And just observe how the natural breath first fills the abdomen with air and then the chest with air. And on the exhalation, the chest subsides and the abdomen subsides. Just observing the natural breath. And in this class, our main pranayama practice will be Brahmari. So I will demonstrate this first because it involves covering the ears. So just let me demonstrate first before you do that, because you won't be able to hear me. So make sure that you're sitting up straight. And what you'll do is you'll cover with the fingers, covering the ears with the little flaps inside the ear is there. Inhale a full yogic breath and put your tongue behind the teeth, and you'll make a humming sound. This is a really great practice for helping to bring back the concentration. Also, it helps to calm the body as well. If your mind is all over the place, you're feeling nervous and anxious, it's a really great practice to bring the body back and the mind back into a steady space. So, and then I'll ask you in a moment, I'll demonstrate, I'll ask you to do 5 rounds, and then when you finish your 5th round, rather than just completely dropping your hands, wait a few moments again with the ears covered to just hear the attention and awareness move in all directions, and then gently remove the hands. Also, while you're completing the practice, bring the awareness to the top of the head while you're doing it. So I'll demonstrate now. And it's best to have your eyes closed as well when you do the practice. So you breathe in, covering the ears. So that's 1 round. So complete the practice now, complete 5 rounds. And now just observe the effects. And then when it's right for you, gently move into Shavasana to prepare for the practice of Yoga Nidra. So ensure that you are comfortable and that you are warm, so that you don't need to move throughout the practice. If you're experiencing some lower back issues, you may like to pop a cushion under your knees. If it's cool where you are, it can really help to put a rug or a blanket over the body, because as the body relaxes, it will decrease in temperature. So just ensure that you're warm enough. And so with the legs about hip width apart and all tension released from the legs and the feet, the arms just a little bit away from the body with the palms facing the sky, ensuring there is balance between the right side of the body and the left side of the body. You may like to tuck your chin in just a little to ensure there is alignment between the head and the neck and the spine. Take a long, deep inhalation. And as you exhale, allow the body to release into the floor. Take another long, deep inhalation now. And this time, as you exhale, release any remaining tension you may be experiencing throughout the body. And take another long, deep inhalation now. And this time, as you exhale, release any expression on the face. Ensure that you are not clenching your jaw, that you're not tightening the muscles behind the eyes. Just let all expressions go. And feel the contact now between the body and the floor. Feel the contact between the heels and the floor. Feel the contact between the back of the legs and the floor. Observe contact between the buttocks and the floor. Feel the back and the spine against the floor. And bring your awareness now to the back of the arms against the floor. Feel the contact between the back of the neck and the back of the head and the floor. And observe how all of these different points of contact just make one singular point of contact between the body and the floor. Become aware now of sound. Bring your awareness to sounds way off in the distance. Don't try and name the sound in any way. Just move your awareness to sound, from sound to sound. So hear a sound and then move off onto the next one. Now move your awareness to sounds just outside the room that you're in. Again, just moving the awareness from sound to sound as you hear it. Move the awareness now to sounds inside the room that you're in. It's applying the same practice. Now move the awareness to sound inside the body, beginning with the sound and the sensation of the heartbeat. Now move the awareness to the sound and sensation of the natural breath. Release the sound awareness now and call to mind your Sankalpa or positive intention if you have one. Mentally repeat it 3 times now. We'll now rotate the awareness throughout the body. Listen to my instructions. When I repeat the name of a body part, place your awareness there. Mentally repeat the name of that part and visualize that part. We'll begin with the right side of the body and the right hand thumb. First finger, second, third, and little finger. Palm of the right hand, back of the right hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side of the chest, right waist, hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf, heel, ankle, sole of the right foot, top of the right foot, right big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and little toe. We'll move now over to the left side of the body, beginning with the left hand thumb, first finger, second, third, and little finger, palm of the left hand, back of the left hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side of the chest, left waist, hip, thigh, knee, left shin, calf, heel, sole of the left foot, top of the left foot, left big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and little toe. Moving now to the back of the body, beginning with the heels, back of the legs, the buttocks, the small of the back, the middle of the back, the shoulder blades, space between the shoulder blades, the back of the neck, the entire spinal column, back of the head and the crown of the head. Moving now to the face, beginning with the forehead, the eyebrow center, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the ears, the lips, the jaw, the chin, the throat, the collarbones, and the pit of the throat, the right side of the chest, the left side of the chest, and the center of the chest, the right side of the abdomen, the left side of the abdomen, and the navel, the right side of the pelvis, the left side of the pelvis, and the groin, the whole right leg, the whole left leg, both legs together, the whole right arm, the whole left arm, both arms together, the whole torso, the whole neck, the whole head, the whole front of the body, the whole back of the body, the whole body. Have a sense now, all at once, the whole body. Release the awareness from the rotation of the body now and move it to the natural breath. Observe the natural breath now, very subtle. And observe the rise and fall of the navel in response to the natural breath. And we'll now add a count to the natural breath. Counting backwards from 14 in the following way. Breathing in, 14. Breathing out, 14. Breathing in, 13. Breathing out, 13. Just counting along to the natural breath backwards from 14. If you reach 1, begin again. And if you lose count, begin again. And if the mind wanders, use the breath like an anchor and bring it back to the practice. Release the count now And instead feel the following opposite sensations in the body. The body's feeling colder and colder. The body feels like it's swimming in an icy lake. The cold makes the body shiver right through to your bones. The fingers and the toes are numb. The nose and the cheeks are numb. The body's feeling colder and colder, like you're swimming in an icy lake. And release this feeling of coldness now and replace it instead with a feeling of heat. The body's feeling hotter and hotter. The body feels as though it's sitting in front of a roaring bonfire. The hands and the feet are clammy. It's so hot. The heat stings the cheeks. Heat radiates from the abdomen throughout the body. The body's feeling hotter and hotter, like it's standing in front of a roaring bonfire. Release this feeling of heat now. Replace it instead with a feeling of heaviness. The body's feeling heavier and heavier. The body presses against the floor because it feels so heavy. Feels as though it's made out of concrete. The arms and the legs are heavier. The torso and the head feels heavier. The body's feeling heavier and heavier. Feels like it's made out of concrete and it's pressing against the floor. Release this feeling of heaviness now and instead replace it with a feeling of lightness. The body's feeling lighter and lighter. The body feels so light that it feels like it's barely touching the floor. The arms and the legs feel like they're barely touching the floor. The torso and the head feels like it's barely touching the floor. The body feels so light that it feels like it's going to drift off at any moment. The body's feeling lighter and lighter. Release this feeling of lightness now. Release all of these sensations completely. Allow the body to come back to a state of equilibrium. And instead, come to the space of the mind, the space behind the closed eyes. And in this space, see, imagine, visualize, and create the following objects and images. You're standing on a beach just before sunrise. The air is crisp, but you're all rugged up and warm. And while you feel the coldness of the air on your cheeks and your nose, you feel warm. You've got a warm hat on your head. You're wearing warm gloves, so you feel warm enough to be there, but it's definitely not warm enough to swim. And you find a rock on the beach, a big rock that you can sit on and watch the sunrise unfold. There is no one else on the beach right now, and the only thing that you can hear are the waves and the birds as they begin to stir in the trees and fly across the horizon to begin their day. And as you watch the sky, the changes in the sky just happening every second before your eyes. The small crack of light on the horizon grows with every second, and the sky starts off as a deep blue with deep orange. Next, it begins to lighten, and a golden line across the horizon grows with every moment. The sky's lightening up even more now. And you know that it's almost time for the sun to arrive. And you see on the horizon a very deep orange around the point where you know the sun is going to emerge. And before you know it, with the waves lapping up towards you, but not near you too much because the water is chilly, you see one ray of sunlight burst across the waves over the horizon and lands right on your eyebrow center as you're sitting there and watching the morning unfold. And you feel blessed, and you feel joyous, and you feel grateful to be able to witness this beautiful moment. And feeling energized, you decide that it's time to go. So you come back and lie back down on your mat, feeling warm and feeling energized in your eyebrow center. And you call to mind now your Sankalpa, or positive intention if you have one. Mentally repeat it 3 times now. And if you don't have one, leave some space for it may emerge on its own. And allow the breath to deepen now. And as you do, observe the movement that the breath makes in the body. Observe how when you inhale, you can feel the back move against the floor. Take some time now to observe how you're feeling at this moment and compare how you feel now to when you began the class. Begin to remember the room that you were in and the details of that room. Remember the color of the walls, the color of the floor, the features of any furniture in the room. Remember the color of your mat, the color of your coverings. And remember the time of day. Begin to hear the world around you and remember the sounds and the world attached to those sounds. The practice of Yoga Nidra is coming to a close. Begin to make small movements with the fingers and the toes to allow the body to gently externalize. Be very kind to your body. Begin to move and stretch in a way that's right for you. You may like to gently move the head from side to side, or even lie on your right side for a few moments. And when it's right for you, just moving at your own pace, there is no rush. Gently come up to a sitting position, keeping the eyes closed or downcast, aiming to maintain the peaceful state that you've created. And again, moving the awareness up through the body, paying careful attention to how you feel now, observing any effects of the class. Gently moving the awareness up through the legs, up through the arms, and up through the torso, into the neck and the face, into the back of the head, to the top of the head and gently placing the awareness at the eyebrow center. And in this space, visualize a steady candle flame. And together now, we'll chant Om 3 times and Om Shanti to conclude the class. Breathing in, Om. 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Hari Om Tat Sat.